Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deanna and you're watching Orchid D. Well, I've got another shade house video for you today because I filmed the last one maybe a couple of weeks ago, and since I published it, Jared and I have gotten our acts together and decided to reshuffle and reorganize this shade house, and well, it's looking pretty fabulous if I do say so myself. We've had some rain today. Last week, the entire week was basically in the 30s degrees Celsius, so it was very hot. The shade house was kind of getting watered pretty much every day or every second day, but in the meantime I've transferred a lot more orchids out here and we have shuffled them around by, well, basically by genre. So I'm going to show you a few new developments in here and show you how I've organized this space. So just for a really rough overview, the back of the shade house is east, and we are situated quite high, like our house is quite high. Our backyard is lifted up a little bit compared to the other houses, so we get really nice, and sometimes it's really strong, eastern breeze that comes through here. So there's full airflow through this shade house, but it also gets full sun because there's no real established trees in my yard anymore. We do have a fence that's situated, it's about 1 meter high, and so you can sort of see the shade house sits in the back corner there. So those two back walls, the first lower shelf is kind of protected from both the early morning sun and really strong winds. So I have actually even put a lot of the seedlings and stuff out here because they're really neglected inside anyway. They're not really getting watered, they're drying out, and so the ones that are still alive, they're out here. So basically these two walls down here are very well protected, and you can see along this wall I have actually moved the phals out here. So we know that Phalaenopsis orchids are generally lower light compared to the Catliabella, etc. I just thought I'd hedge my bets and put them out here and see how they go. I actually think they're going to do really well. So last week we had 30 degree plus days. It was very hot and very sunny, especially considering it's not really summer yet, and these orchids look fine. So I've even got seedlings out here, and I just figured they're going to do better than they're doing inside. I hardly ever water my orchids these days, so they go for like a month without watering, so you know, I think they're going to actually do all right here. We've tested their resilience. I've got seedling oncidiums down here, some smaller phals down here, got bigger phals. So the phals that are in bloom at the moment, because I do have a lot of spikes and blooms, not a lot compared to last year. Last year was an amazing show, but I do have some and they're inside. So next video hopefully I can show you some of those, but we had to take down a lot of the shelves that were inside because Maisie pulled a pot plant on herself last week, so I think that was the nudge we needed to start baby proofing. And down along this back wall we've got some other lower light orchids. So we've got the Paphiopedilums, we've got some of the Bulbophyllums, got some of the lower light Vanda types, so the Rhynchus stylus. I'm pretty sure I've got the Rhinantheras down here. I'm actually not too sure if they're higher light or lower light, but because they are a bit smaller compared to obviously the big large leaf Vandas, I have kept them down here, but maybe you guys can tell me how much light they can really tolerate. This side actually does get a reasonable amount of light, this lower shelf, but definitely not as much as the upper shelves. So I've put my oncidiums down here, so all the oncidium types are down here. I've got quite a few spikes actually. You can see down there I've got a spike, we've got a spike developing here on my Colmonara. Cherry baby down here is sticking out a random spike. Yeah, little spikes scattered everywhere. Down in this corner I've just got a few Hoyas. I don't know that much about Hoyas. They are doing really well in the shade house. However, I don't know if this is really where I want them. You can see this Hoya back here. Within a week, it's already entwined on the metal grating back there. I just don't really want them climbing all over the frame of the shade house. That's not really the look or the thing that I'm going for, and I think it's going to be like quite high maintenance. So I don't know where to put them. This ovivada is just crazy. I've kind of had to twirl it around on itself because it just grows like crazy, and I've actually had to cut one of the growing points as well, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know what to do, but you can see it's in flower at the moment, or it's growing some blooms at the moment. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on where I could put Hoyas and keep them kind of in check and in control, please let me know. So down in this corner we've got some seedling Cattleyas, but I do have this random Dendrobium atriviolaceum down here, which probably needs to go somewhere else because it doesn't quite make sense here. But anyway, it is producing a little apical bloom here. So I didn't know that they produced blooms out of the apex, but you can see it's had a previous bloom here, which I must have missed at some stage. And I've got varieties Huliciana here, which has just grown significantly since I got it. And it's got 2 bloom spikes coming out there. I've got my Stanhopeas in this corner here. I never did repot them. Who knows if they've got some caught blooms down the bottom there, but they don't bloom. I think we've been through this before, that I'm pretty sure that they are not in appropriate baskets, and I did buy appropriate baskets for them. I just never had the time to repot them since I became pregnant, so we'll just chuck that on my to-do list. I'm pretty sure I put it on my list of things to do during maternity leave, and we all know how that turned out. And I've got a few of the Neophoneicias here too, and some baby Rhynchostylis as well. Wanagara apple blossom has some beautiful blooms down here. You can see they're all opened up on this spike, and the other spike didn't do so well, so the tip of this must have gotten burnt and didn't develop properly. On this top shelf are the Cattleya. So I've got the Cattleya coming around to about here, and then I've got Dendrobiums up along here. So they're all fairly highlight, and they all seem to be doing fairly well. I've got some Vandas scattered everywhere, but most of them are hanging up here. Here we've got BC Yellowbird, looking quite fabulous, I must say. I think the variety is Rothwell. Very pretty blooms, look at this. And this is my Francis Fox. This is Myrmecatavola Francis Fox. I lost the bloom spike last year, but it is blooming this year, and I'll have a few blooms to show soon, I think. And look what we have next to it. This is absolutely fabulous. This is my Vanda tricolor, which I got as an advanced seedling 3.5 years ago. And I'm pretty sure this is the first blooming for me. It has 3 spikes. It is clearly a big Vanda now, but when I got it, it was a little baby, and I'm so proud that it's blooming like this. Look at these blooms. They are just spectacular, and the 3 spikes, all the blooms are just looking so nice. This Tessellata cross with Mimi Palmer's opened up a bit more. You can see it has the 2 spikes there, but this spike has opened up since last time I saw you guys. This is one of my most fragrant orchids, I would say now. It just smells absolutely beautiful. And just a few more things to show you while I'm here. This one was in bloom last time, but we've got more buds opening up, and this is Dendrobium Black Mountain cross with Camilla's Creation. So pretty. All these multiple bloom spikes, just, I don't think I could have done this inside, like it is thanks to this shade house. And over here we've got, let me see if I can lift it up. We've We've got Dendrobium Chet's Choice. Look at that. So pretty. That egg yolk lip. And below it we've got Dendrobium Lindleyi. Also very short bloomer, but absolutely beautiful. You can see it was just budding last time I showed you, but we've already lost a spike back there. These blooms will be open for another few days and then fall again. Got a couple of massive spikes up there on pretty much my first orchid. This is one of the rescues that I got from my grandma about 4 or 5 years ago. And yeah, I'm really proud that it is just a really regular bloomer now. So this is the last thing that I wanted to show you before I go. This is Catliabella and it's coming into bloom, and she is just absolutely huge and spectacular. So I can't quite remember the cross off the top of my head. I'll put it in the screen below here. But look, I've got 2 amazing spikes opening up. They are really, really heavy blooms, and I've had to stake them up. I'm not sure if this sheath that was enclosed got some water trapped in it because we had a lot of rain overnight. So I don't know if that's affected the bloom spikes, but they were basically so heavy that they were pulling the whole bloom spike down. I was just worried they were going to break, so I've pulled down the sheath. This is just opening up. You can see the size of these flowers. They're just huge. Here is some opened ones. Catliabella. You can see these ones have opened up, and look at the size of them. Bigger than my hand. Absolutely spectacular. And the light's fading at the moment, so they're not super fragrant at the moment, but I know this one is really, really fragrant. So I'm pretty sure if I come out here in the morning, those blooms will be open, and I'm pretty sure this shade house is just going to smell absolutely divine. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I think I'll try and show you the phals that are in bloom in my next video, hopefully. But until then, I hope you guys have a great week, and happy growing until I see you next time. Bye!